Hello, I'd like you to welcome you to another Todd Talk. We take teaching theory and turn it into teaching practice. So, in a series of videos that I've been creating on teaching public speaking, today I'm going to talk about a very important concept, which is the difference between reading something and the difference between presenting it. You would think that these are kind of the same thing. So, when you read a speech, you are presenting the speech, but they are two very different things. And it all comes down into the delivery of your words. So when you read, you do not sound as though you are having a conversation. You sound like you're reciting something, and it doesn't sound very natural. It sounds almost robotic. So let me give you an example. I'm going to read you a selection from The Hound of the Baskerville by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I'm going to read it to you first. As I walked back, I was overtaken by Dr. Mortimer driving in his dog cart over a rough moorland track which led from the outlying farmhouse of Foulmire. He had been very attentive to us, and hardly a day had passed that he had not called at the hall to see how we were getting along. He insisted upon my climbing into his dog cart, and he gave me a lift homeward. I found him much troubled over the disappearance of his little spaniel. It had wandered on to the moor and had never come back. I gave him such consolation as I might, but I thought of the pony of the Grimpen Mire, and I do not fancy that he will see his little dog again. So that is the reading. And what I see with a lot of beginner speakers is they write their speech out, as they should, but then they read the speech as though they're reading a book. But we want to be presenting the speech, not reading it. So we can, by the way, we can still be reading our speech, but just in a presentation voice. So let me give you an example here from this same passage. As I walked back, I was overtaken by Dr. Mortimer driving in his dog cart over a rough moorland track which led from the outlying farmhouse of Foulmire. He has been very attentive to us, and hardly a day has passed that he has not called at the hall to see how we were getting on. He insisted upon my climbing into his dog cart, and he gave me a lift homeward. I found him much troubled over the disappearance of his little spaniel. It had wandered on to the moor and had never come back. I gave him such consolation as I might, but I thought of the pony on the Grimpen Mire, and I do not fancy that he will see his little dog again. You see, there's a vast difference between those two. In one, I am just reading the words as they appear on the page. In the other one, I'm almost performing the words. I have more pauses, I have more inflection, I may change the volume. There is moderation to my voice. When we read, we tend to read the same in monotone. And because it's in monotone, it doesn't sound very engaging. And so, what we want to be doing and making sure that we're doing when we're giving a speech is that we're actually presenting that speech. So, if you decide to read your speech, as many people do, politicians included, professional politicians do, you have to learn how to present those words rather than read those words. One good way to help with this is to practice this. So, find monologues on the internet at the site that I've listed right here, and you can perform these. You can actually present the monologue rather than reading the monologue. This, of course, will take practice. You'll read through it just to get familiar with the words, and then you'll get to the point where you need to present it.